Jericho, it said that they devoted the city to the Lord and destroyed with the sword every living thing in it, men and women, young and old. Now, maybe the men and women were immoral. I certainly don't think that children living among the Canaanites were immoral enough to justify their being killed.
God has the right to take anyone's life whenever he wants to. So if God wants to end the life of these Canaanite children early, that's his prerogative. On my theology, these children go immediately to heaven. It was actually a tremendous blessing to these children for them to be killed and go to heaven and be with God.
You must understand how that sounds. This just seems again to run against our intuitions.
Well, does it, Alex? I mean, I think it runs against our naturalistic worldview, where one doesn't believe in an afterlife. But on a theistic worldview, if these children go to a life more glorious than they can imagine, then it is great blessing. It's just that modern man doesn't believe that.
In the 6th chapter of Joshua, in the destruction of Jericho, it said that they devoted the city.
Alright, so this is the question with regard to the morality behind what happened, right? Now, we'll play it back, but I do agree that it's God's prerogative to take the life of human being in whatever way, for example, natural cause, accidents, etc., right? That's one side of it. The other side of it is, because I'm not sure whether this mentioned about the command. This is the same, is it the same, this is the Canaanite children, right? So my issue is not about like for today, right? There are children that died in Gaza, right? That's one thing. Now, is there any justice that God allowed those children to be killed in such a way? Now, as the Christians said, they will be rewarded in paradise. Even though I'm not sure whether all Christians believe so, because didn't Christian believe in like original sin and you have to be baptized? I'm not sure. What do, if for a Christian that watch this, what do you believe happened to the children in Canaanite? Right, that's one thing. But now that's one thing. And going back to the what I'm saying now, those children that were killed, I'm saying in Gaza or elsewhere, or that died, natural causes, medical complication, whatever that is, yes, they will be rewarded with paradise. That's not the problem though. The problem is, it's totally different to see how can God, for example, right, if that state, that genocidal state is claiming that it's God's command for them to kill all the children, all the babies, all the kids, then you have to question what kind of is would God ever command such a thing? For what justification, right? So yeah, let's
To the Lord and destroyed with the sword every living thing in it, men and women, young and old. Now, maybe the men and women were immoral. I certainly don't think that children living among the Canaanites were immoral enough to justify their being killed.
God has.
So yeah, to justify them being killed, that's the question. I'm not sure if this Christian guy actually answered the question, because them being killed as punishment, right? Meaning that the army that kills them. So if the justification for them to be killed is immoral, being immoral, so you can argue that the adults did immoral things and deserve to be punished. But the children, why would they be punished at the same time? Now, if we are talking about the army, the soldiers are committing crime, war crime, genocidal crime, right? Like what is happening in this world today. The action of those committing the crime is not justified. But if we ask, what is the wisdom of these kids being killed when they are so small, they do not have chance to grow big, etc. Well, they died as children, they are promised paradise. it's blessing for them. That's true. That's true. I'm not arguing against that, but I'm arguing. But can you see that group of soldiers that did this genocide, including on children, their action is sanctioned by God? Does that make sense? So that's the core that is not been answered here, right?
Has the right to take anyone's life whenever he wants to. So if God wants to end the life of these Canaanite children early, that's his prerogative.
So end life is not the same as punishing them by being killed under God's command. Okay, so if criminal come and killed, the criminal will be burning in hell, right? But the child is having a blessing. They died early, they go to paradise. But the criminal will rot in hell, right? So that's the issue. That when you suddenly say, but no, this one is God's chosen people, they do this, and they are doing the right thing because God command them. So that's the issue.
In my theology, these children go immediately to heaven. It was actually...
Okay, on that, one is not addressing the question. Second, do all Christians believe that? Because I thought Christians believe differently about, children died. I think some people bring this comparison. I'm not sure this is true or not because I haven't verified with a Christian. But I said, if how to say, the dilemma, if for example to save a baby in the pregnancy stage and the mother, right? So who would you save? But anyway, let's put that aside.
A tremendous blessing to these children for them to be killed and go to heaven and be with God.
You must understand how that sounds. This just seems again to run against our intuitions.
Well, does it, Alex? I mean,
Okay, so I've said my reaction to this. I wonder what you think, especially if you're a Christian, because I don't see his answer as addressing the main concern there. If you think he did, how come? How is it related? Or if you have a better answer to answer this question, why is it okay or just to kill the kids? Not about the fate of the kid, right? Because if not that incident, they can be killed by other criminal, but the criminal is not being justified, right? So that's my question. So feel free to comment. Thank you for watching. See you next time.